Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a really cool feature in Open WebUI called Action Functions. Think of it like this. We're going to see how this tech literally gives your AI chatbot hands to go along with its voice, turning a simple chat into a powerful, interactive experience. Let's dive in. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about what it even means for a chat to take action. Then we're going to peek under the hood at the architecture. After that, we'll see how you can build some really dynamic experiences with this, and we'll wrap up with advanced features and best practices. All right, first up, chat that takes action. This is all about moving beyond that classic, text in, text out model that we're all so used to with chatbots. So let me ask you this. What if your chat could actually do more than just talk? I mean, chatbots are great at conversation, sure, but what if they could perform tasks or ask for your permission before doing something, or even generate content, like a chart, right there inside the chat window? Well, that is exactly where action functions come in. At their core, they're just custom Python functions that an admin can create and manage on the server. But the really brilliant part is how they show up for the user, as custom, clickable buttons right below a model's response, just waiting for you to interact with them. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, imagine asking an AI to analyze some data. Instead of just describing a chart, it presents you with a button that says Generate Visualization. You click it, and boom, a live chart appears. Or maybe the AI needs to do something sensitive, and it pops up a simple Confirm button to get your permission first. Seriously, the possibilities here are pretty much endless. Okay, now that we see what's possible, let's dig into our next section and take a quick look at how this all works. And don't worry, we're not going to get lost in the weeds here. We'll just focus on the big ideas. The best way to think about this is with that analogy from the start. The model's text response, that's its voice. It can talk to you. But action functions, those are its hands. They give the model the power to reach out and actually do things right there in the user interface. And what makes this so powerful for developers is how simple and consistent the structure is. Every single action, it doesn't matter how simple or complex, is built around this one fundamental pattern in Python. A class named action that has a main method called action. That's it. This makes building new functions super straightforward. So, when you're building one of these actions, you're handed this amazing little toolkit of parameters. You get the body, which has all the message context. You get the __ user object, so you can check who's using it and what their permissions are. And then you get the real magic, the __ event emitter and __ event call, which are the keys to making your chat truly interactive. Okay, so that toolkit is exactly how we go from a static chat to something truly dynamic. Let's see how those event tools especially make these interactive experiences possible. All that real-time magic, the status updates, the little confirmation pop-ups, that all comes from Open WebUI's built-in event system, and action functions are designed to plug right into it. An action can communicate with the user in two really distinct ways. Using the .event emitter is kind of like making a PA announcement. It's for one-way updates like sending a little toast notification that says processing your request. But the .event call, that's for a direct conversation. It actually pauses everything to ask the user a question like, are you sure you want to delete this? And you're not just limited to one button either. Developers get to choose how they structure things. A single action is perfect for one specific job, like that Generate Chart button. But you can also create a multi-action for a whole group of related tasks. This would let you offer a few different buttons like Summarize, Translate, or Explain, all in response to some text. You also get total control over where these action buttons show up. You can make an action global, which means it's available for every single user and every single model. Set it once, use it everywhere. Or you can get really specific and assign it to particular models. This is perfect for specialized tools like a Generate Python code action that only shows up for a coding model. All right, for our final section, let's get into some of the advanced capabilities and best practices that can really take your actions from just being good to being absolutely great. So beyond these simple interactions, actions have some serious power under the hood. For one, you can run long operations as background tasks, so the UI never freezes up, which is essential for anything that takes time. They can also handle file uploads and even generate new media. And, so importantly, they can check a user's role and permissions, making sure that only an admin, for example, can run a really sensitive task. But it's not just about what the button does, it's also about how it looks and feels. And you can customize all of that super easily using something called front matter. It sounds technical, but it's really just a simple block of text you put at the very top of your Python file. And inside that front matter, you define all the key details. You can set the button's title, you can credit the author, you can keep track of the version, and you can even give it a custom icon. This is what makes your actions feel totally polished and professional right inside the interface. So, if we put it all together, the anatomy of a really well-designed action follows these 5 simple steps. First, you define its metadata with front matter. Then, you talk to the user if you need to, maybe to get confirmation. Third, you do the actual work. Fourth, you provide feedback along the way so they know what's happening. And finally, you return the result right back to the chat. And you can see how all of these features really serve one main goal: creating a fantastic user experience. And to do that, you should always provide feedback so the user isn't left hanging. Always, always confirm destructive actions to prevent mistakes. And if something does go wrong, write a helpful error message that tells them what happened and why. The whole point is to make every interaction feel seamless and intuitive. So, we've seen how action functions give a chatbot hands to go with its voice, transforming it from just a conversationalist into an active partner in getting things done. It really opens up a whole new universe of interactive possibilities. And so I'll leave you with this question. Now that chat can take action, what will you build first?